Yeah. What?
Okay. Just it's going to have like a huge, the right side is going to be heavy. It's going to be heavy. What's happening here?
Are you Facebook Living on your phone right now?
So I want to share something with you. This is so
I feel like
so
I'm in
funny.
the Twilight Zone.
So we rabbis are advised to carry our phones in Shabbat for security reasons. And so I carry my phone in Shabbat, and I have this replacement phone for a week because my phone is broken, and I don't really know how to manage this thing. And I have been complaining about this the entire week. It has been a pain, and literally, now you see that I don't really know how to manage this phone. Anyways, it is also a reminder that our service is being streamed, and we have people from other places joining us. So Boker Tov to all those that are here. Good morning to all those that are here, and good morning to those that are here online. We are going to start our service after that we have acknowledged the sacred space that we create together. We are going to acknowledge our bodies, our sacred vessels. I invite you to turn your Sidurim to page 194. You will find between pages 194 and 195 blessings that help us acknowledge the well functioning of our bodies. Choose one and try to give some attention to yourself. Blessed are you, Adonai, who heals all flesh, working wondrously. Baruch atah Adonai, רופא כל בשר ומפליא לעשות.
Amen.
We turn our Sidurim to page 196. And there, in the connection between our bodies and our souls, right there is our breath. I invite you to take a moment to take a deep breath as we try to hold our souls near our bodies, as we embrace the challenge of internal unity.
Elohai neshama שנתת בי טהוראי. אלוהי נשמה שנתת בי טהוראי. אלוהי נשמה שנתת בי נשמה שנתת בי טהוראי. אלוהי נשמה שנתת בי טהוראי. אלוהי נשמה שנתת בי Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, who fills all flesh, working wondrously. Baruch atah Adonai, רופא כל בשר ומפליא לעשות. On page 198, you can find the blessings for the daily miracles. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who has given the mind the ability to distinguish day from night. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who opens the eyes of the blind.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who frees the captive.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who lifts up the fallen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who stretches the earth over the waters. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who strengthens our steps. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, mabish amim. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, הנותן ליעף כוח. אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, המביא שינה מעיני ותנומה מעפעפיי. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, שעשני בצלם אלוהים. אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, שעשני בן חורים. אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, שעשני ישראל. אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, עוזר ישראל בגבורה. אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך
ישראל בתפארה. Amen. On page 204, we read together the blessing for the study of Torah, and we remind ourselves that engaging in the study of Torah is actually a daily commitment. It's actually something that we try to keep as a constant in our lives. As we learned in this Torah portion in Parashat Beth Tikvah, we are supposed to keep Torah close to our hearts, and the way to keep Torah close to our hearts is by studying Torah, is by doing Torah. So please join me on page 204. Baruch Ata Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. We continue in English. O Adonai our God, let the words of Torah be sweet in our mouths, and the mouths of all your people Israel, so that we, our descendants, and the descendants of all your people Israel may know you, by studying your Torah for its own sake. Blessed are you, Adonai, who teaches Torah to your people Israel. Baruch Ata Adonai, hamelamed Torah le'amo Yisrael. Between pages 206 and 207, and also on 211, you can find short portions for Torah study. So I encourage you, invite you to take a moment to dedicate one of these portions to yourself.
Next to David.
Page 212.
Baruch shehamar v'haya olam, Baruch hoseh bereshit, Baruch homer v'hoseh, Baruch gozer u'mekayem, Baruch merachem al haaretz, Baruch merachem al habriyot, Baruch meshalem sachar tov lirehav, Baruch elad v'kayam lanetzach, Baruch poder u'matzil, Baruch shemo.
With songs of praise we extol you and proclaim your sovereignty, for you are the source of life in the universe. One God, life of the universe, praise and glorious ruler, your name is eternal. Blessed are you, Adonai, sovereign, who is glorified through songs of praise. Baruch Ata Adonai, Melech Meulal, Batishbachot. And we start the Psukei de Simbra in this Shabbat on page 214, with Mizmor Shir LeYom HaShabbat.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, מזמור שיר ליום השבת, מזמור שיר ליום השבת, לילה 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 לילה, מזמור שיר ליום השבת, מזמור שיר ליום השבת, מזמור שיר ליום השבת, לילה 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 לילה, טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך העליון, להגיד בבוקר חסדיך ואמונתך בלילות, עלי עזר ועלי עבד, עלי היגיון וחידון, עלי עזר ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון וחידון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, מזמור שיר ליום השבת, מזמור שיר ליום השבת, לילה 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 לילה, צדיק אתה בר יפרח,
want to introduce a melody for the words of Ashrei that we are going to be doing in the High Holidays. And the reason that we are 7 weeks before the High Holidays introducing different melodies, because actually, as you finish with Tisha B'Av, you are supposed to start to get ready for Yom Kippur. That's what the Mishnah says. And I think that it's important not to argue with the rabbis or the rabbi. So, on page 215. אשרי יושבי ביתך, עוד יהללוך סלעים. אשרי יושבי ביתך, עוד יהללוך סלעים. אשרי יושבי ביתך, עוד יהללו, עוד יהללו חסלה. אשרי יושבי ביתך, עוד יהללו חסלה. יושבי ביתך, עוד יהללו חסלה. אשרי יושבי ביתך, עוד יהללו, עוד יהללו חסלה. אשרי יושבי ביתך, עוד יהללו, עוד יהללו חסלה. You can continue with the reading of Ashrei over pages 215 and 216, or alternatively, close your eyes and take a moment to think about what's your joyful place. And in that place in which we try to connect between our bodies and our spirits, in that place in which we try to convert our entire existence in a song of praise, Teilat Adonai, Yidaber Fi, Yibarech Kol Bashar, Shem Kodsho, Leolam Bayet. We are at the bottom of page 216.
Teilat Adonai, Yidaber Fi, Basar Shem Kodsho, Leolam, Leolam Va'ed V'anachnu Nevarech Yah Be'ata Be'adonai. Hallelujah, Hallelujah, Hallelujah. Teilat Adonai, Yedaber Fi, Ve'yevarech Kol Basar Shem Kodsho, Leolam, Leolam Va'ed V'anachnu Nevarech Yah Me'ata Be'adonai. Hallelujah, Hallelujah, Hallelujah. ואנחנו נברך יה מעתה באדוני. הללויה, הללו, הללויה. Page 218. Hallelujah,
Hallelujah, Hallelujah,
Hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Betzitzale shama, hallelujah. Betzitzale trua, hallelujah. Betzitzale shama,
Hallelujah, Betzitzale trua, kol anshama. Hallelujah, Hallelujah, kol anshama. Hallelujah, Hallelujah, kol anshama. Hallelujah, Hallelujah. נשמת כל חי, תתברך את שמך, אדוני אלוהינו. You will silent rain over page 219. Page 220.
אילופינו מלא שירה קיים, ולשוננו רינה כהמון גלם, ושפתותינו שבח כמחווה רקיע, ועינינו מהירות כשמש וכירח, וידינו פרוסות כנשרי שמיים, ורגלינו קלות כאיילות. אנחנו מספיקים להודות לך, אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו. הנה אנחנו מספיקים להודות לך, אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אמותינו.
Page 222, the blessing that concludes the psukei, the simbra, the songs of praise, and guides us into the blessings for the Shema.
שוכנת מרום וקדוש שמו, וכתוב רננו צדיקים באדוני, לישרים נבא תהילה, בפי ישרים תתעלה, ובדברי צדיקים תתברך, ובלשון חסידים תתרומם, ובקרב קדושים תתקדש, ומחלות ריבות עמך בית ישראל, ורינה יתפאר שמך מלכנו, בכל דור ודור, ישתבח שמך לעד מלכנו, האל המלך הגדול והקדוש בשמיים ובארץ, כי לך נאה, אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, שושבחה הלב וזמרה, עוז וממשלה, נצח גדולה גבורה, תהילה ותפארת, קדושה ומלכות, ברכות והודאות, מעתה ועד עולם. ברוך אתה אדוני, אל מלכתו בתשבחות, אל ההודאות אדון הנפלאות, הבוחר בשירי זמרה, מלך אלכי העולמים.
Page 224.
גדול והתקדש שמי רבה, ואלמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי תכל בית ישראל. ברומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר, ויתעלה, ויתהלל, שמי קודשם בריחו, לילה מן כה ברכתה ושירתה,
תושבחתה ונחמתה, למירן רעמה, ויראו Amen. And on page 226.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך.
Page 228. Please join me. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of light and darkness,
who makes peace and fashions all things. In mercy you illumine the world and those who live upon it. In your goodness you daily renew creation. How numerous are your works, Adonai. In wisdom you formed them all, filling the earth with your creatures. Be praised, Adonai, our God, for the excellent work of your hands, and for the lights you created. May they glorify you. Shine a new light upon Zion, that we all may swiftly merit its bright radiance. Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer HaMeorot.
On page 230.
Avarabavtanu Adonai Eloheinu Chemla Gedala Vitera Chamata Aleinu Ba'avur Avoteinu Ve'imotenu Shebatchu Becha Avinu Malkeinu Vatlamtem Chukei Chaim Kein Techonenu Tlamtenu HaMerachem Rachem Aleinu V'ten b'libenu lehavin Ve'avinu להשכיל לשמוע ללמוד וללמד לשמור ולעשות ולקיים את כל דברי תלמוד תורתך באהבה.
Gather us in peace from the four corners of the earth and lead us upright to our land. For you, O God, work wonders. You chose us. You choose us. Truly, you drew us near to your great name, that we might acknowledge you, declaring you one in love. Praise be you, Adonai, who chooses your people Israel in love. Baruch atah Adonai, abocher be'amo Israel be'ahava.
Amen.
Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם נאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך. Adonai said to Moses as follows: Speak to the Israelite people and instruct them to make for themselves fringes on the corners of their garments throughout the ages. Let them attach a cord of blue to the fringe at each corner. That shall be your fringe. Look at it and recall all the commandments of Adonai and observe them, so that you do not follow your heart and eyes in your lustful urge. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
אמת בציבהו בחביבנו רבה דלבטו ביפה דבר עשה עלינו לעולם בהדם אלוהינו לעולם מלכנו סוד יעקב מגן ישענו לדור בדור וקיים ושמו קיים בכיסאו החום מלכותו מלכותו לעוד חיים קיימים נאמנים נחמדים משה ומרים מבני ישראל לכנו שירה בשמחה רבה באמרו כולם. On page 240. מי כמוך ואלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, מי כמוך ואלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש. לא לתהילות עושה פלא, שירה חדשה שמחו גאולים לשמך על שפת הים. שירה חדשה שמחו גאולים לשמך על שפת הים. יחד כולם הודו והמליכו בעמנו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. צור ישראל קומה ושנת ישראל, ביתנו מחיה יהודה וישראל. גואלנו אדוני צבאות שמו, קדוש ישראל. יאי די די, יאי די 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 די, ביי די די די, יאי די 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 די, די 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 די, יאי די 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 די, די די די, דה 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 די, די 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 די, דה 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 די. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל Israel. Page 242. We start Filat Amidah. And we remember that Filat Amidah is a great moment to connect through the words of our tradition to the deep desires of our hearts. אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד Tehilatecha, Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Adonai,
Adonai, שפתי תפתח, ופי יגיד תהילתך. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Kameh Chasadim Tovim, V'koneh Hakol, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומשיח ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי מתים אתה, רב להושיע. מוריד אתה, מכלכל חיים בחסד,
מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים, תומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומטיל אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך?
מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה ואמר, קדוש 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 אדוני צבאות, מלך כל הארץ כבודו. אדיר אדירנו אדוני, אדוננו מאדיר, שמך בכל הארץ, ברוך כבוד אדוני במקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו, הוא מלכנו, הוא משיענו והוא ישמיענו, ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהי ציון לדור ודור. הללויה. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד גודלך.
לדור ודור,
לדור ודור,
לדור ודור,
לדור ודור,
לדור ודור נגיד גודלך. ולנצח נצחים, ולנצח נצחים, קדושתך, קדושתך נקדיש. בשבחך אלוהינו, ניבינו לא ימוש, לעולם לעולם ועד. ודור,
לדור ודור,
לדור ודור, לדור ודור, נגיד גודלך. לדור ודור,
לדור ודור,
לדור ודור,
לדור ודור,
לדור ודור, נגיד גודלך. ולנצח נצחים, ולנצח נצחים, קדושתך, קדושתך, נקדיש. לשבחך אלוהינו, מפינו לא ימוש, לעולם, לעולם ועד.
ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
ולך שומרי שבת, הקורא הנגב שביעי, כל המגזור, נגמר לך, עד ימים אתה קראת, זכר למעשה כשנו אצבעותיך ועשר. בטח זה נענו שלך לציון ורחמים ורחבות נצלת לציון ולך לך תורה לרוב כולם אחרים לזה זה נשאר דבר לך לכם חסר לחמים את רוב עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל. שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן. please turn your Siddur to page 362 and rise as we open the ark in order to start our Torah service.
אין כמוך באלוהים, אדוני, ואין כמסך. מלכותך, מלכות כל עולמים, וממשלתך בכל דור ודור. אדוני מלך, אדוני מלך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ויעש לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. כי מציון תצא תורה, כי מציון תצא תורה, ודבר אדוני בירושלים. ברוך שנתן תורה, תורה, ברוך שנתן תורה, תורה, לעמו ישראל בקדושתו. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. אחד אלוהינו, גדול אדוננו, קדוש שמו. גדול אדוני איתי, ונרוממה שמו יחדיו. לך אדוני הגדולה והגבורה והתפארת והנצח וההוד. כי כל בשמיים שבס בארץ, כי כל בשמיים וכל הארץ. אדוני הממלכה ימית נעשה שבס. Shabbat Shalom, Sophie, Shabbat Shalom. And Shabbos, Shabbat Shalom, Rabbeinu. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Laura. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Reina. Shabbat Shalom, Nitza. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbos, how are you? La 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 la. What was here?
Let's put here. Let's put here so people can see. Good job. Thank you. Good job, everyone. You may be seated. David, can you hold the Torah there? Just hold it, hold it, hold it. Now she's undressed. We're good. That's okay. Thank you so much. Let's make sure that we know where we are. Yeah, we actually know. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So, I want to make sure that we know what Torah portion we are reading. So do you know what Torah portion we are reading? Beth Hanan. And what's the meaning of the word Beth Hanan? Puff. Silence. We didn't write it, so. But begging is to beg or to beseech, right? Beseeching. Now, So remember that when we have these conversations, and we're about to have a conversation, we need to have always one voice. So let's be mindful of that. And let's try to avoid side conversations. So, Beth Hanan to beseech, or he was begging. Now, what are the topics of this Torah portion? Do you know what we are going to read? Any idea? No idea. Many different topics. Okay, we have a rabbi in the public. Haha. Aseret HaDivrot, which just came. So last week we were in Parashat Varim, and this week we're in Parashat Beth Hanan. And one of the main topics of Parashat Beth Hanan, topic that we are not going to explore very deeply, but we will mention, is the Aseret HaDivrot, the 10 commandments that are called Aseret Divrot. 10, Asara, and Divrot. Well, commandment is not an accurate word, actually. Words or speeches or things or statements. We were talking about that last week as we introduced the book of Devarim. We spoke about things and speeches. So what else is in? What? The Shema. The Shema is right here. What else? The what? Cities of refuge. What else? So much. So much is in this Torah portion. And you know, and yes. Into the land. Wait for a second. So interesting what Daphne is noticing. So when we talk about Parashat Beit Hanan, we go very fast into the 10 Commandments and into the Shema, etc. But actually the beginning of Parashat Beit Hanan, which is the thing that I want to explore with you right now, we usually skip. It's like business as usual. But let me tell you, it's not business as usual. So last week we spoke about this transition that Moses had. Do you remember what we were talking about? I'll remind you, don't worry. We say, well, rabbis are leaders also. Prophet to rabbi. Okay, good. So we say that, good. So, like, from a really great position to rabbi. So last week we spoke about this idea that Moshe got ordained as a rabbi in the book of Devarim. Now, we spoke about this distinction in which we usually think of Moses as a prophet. He is a prophet. He's the one who speaks with God and has the ability to Vayomer Adonai el Moshe le'emor, and that's like half of the Torah goes like that. And God tells to Moses to say, which basically means that Moses is an emissary of God. The one who brings the word of God in Jewish tradition is a prophet. But last week, we discovered that actually, these are the Dvarim that Moshe said to the Jewish people. And all of a sudden, he started to speak on his own behalf. So that made him a different character, maybe a rabbi. And why do we think about Moses as a rabbi? We also said that even though we think and we learn about Moses as being a prophet, the rabbis in the Talmud address him as Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses our rabbi. So, and we do know also, Marilyn was pointing out last week, that the book of Deuteronomy apparently came, even though it is Deuteronomy is the last book of the Torah, so you obviously can say, well, the last one, yes. But also, archaeologically, we understand that apparently came in a later stage. So, and that could say that we wrote it later, or the explanations for that might be diverse, but we also understand that probably the need that the Israelites had of communication was different. And during the entire journey throughout the desert, they needed apparently a prophet, and now they need a rabbi. They need a different kind of leadership. And this rabbi starts this Torah portion sharing a personal story. What's the personal story he's sharing?
I'm not going to the Holy Land because of you.
Well, you could say that he's a bit angry. You could say that he's dealing with anger. That's a piece. And maybe, and from that place, let's go to, I don't think he's angry. But you know what? Fine. Let's assume that Moses is angry. And from that place of anger, what happens? What does he do? That you're moving forward too fast. Stay there. What happens there? I want to explore the first 5, 6 verses of the Torah portion. What happens there? I tell you. Moses is praying. Beth Hanan. There's a section of prayer that we don't have in our Reform Siddur, but you will see in the concert. No. Maybe. But so there's Beth Hanan, the word litchanen, has to do with tachanunim, which is a section of prayer in which we beg from God. You will see in conservative synagogues a little bit, and mostly in Orthodox synagogues, that there is a moment in which people actually go down to their knees and they beg from God for their requests. That section of prayer is called tachanunim. Tachanunim, the prayers of begging, of beseeching. And Moses is begging here. He's speaking his heart. Now, this is quite amazing because you could say that Moses, and we're talking about the character of prayer and the function of prayer. If you are not there yet, so I want you to be there. Moses is begging from God, and God tells him, no, clearly, no, you're not going to enter this land. And the reasons might be diverse, okay? The reason Moses said, because of you, maybe, or maybe because of myself, he could say, or maybe because this is the generation that needs to change, and he's a part of that generation, and he can't be there either. We say that the generation of the desert needs to stay in the desert, and in order to allow a new generation to take the way and the leadership in the promised land, and maybe it's important for Moses to stay there too. And God says to him, you will be able to see the promised land. To see the promised land, but not to enter the promised land. Now, let's talk about that prayer. What's the function of prayer, in your opinion? What? Communication with God. Which one? Well, which God? The one and only. That's a very good answer, but squeezy. Like, which one? Yeah. The God of Israel. Who's sitting where? I know the names of God. You can give me 70. Okay, Amakom, Adonai, El Shaddai, Elohim. We can be here an hour. So here's what happens. Sometimes it's hard to realize what's the function of prayer. We say communication with God, which is it's true. Absolutely, like by definition, what's your name? Karen. Karen is completely right? Like communication with God, but then is God, in this case, like a human idea standing somewhere and looking at me and saying, okay, what do you need today, Karen? Or what do you need today, Nico? I need to get into a promise land. I don't have that one. I can let you see. Okay, cool, fine, deal. And so I see the promised land, I don't make it to the promised land, and that's it. So what's the so that might be, or God, I was needing, and you take your grocery list, and you say, I need refuah shlema, complete healing, and a new pair of shoes. And then, I hear, well, you can get the pair of shoes, but not refuah shlema. So how does it work? What's the function of prayer? Teshuvah. Go, tell me more about that. But again, God is somewhere else, someone else, and is somewhere else in that definition. To help you be a helper. So let me take you from there and say that Teshuvah is a tool that we have in order to embrace self-rectification. Okay, so I'll take that. Now, there's an interesting verse in this Torah portion. I took it to myself. I think it's in chapter 4, verse 7. That says that basically that God is close to all those that hold him out. There is in prayer the strength of helping us realize what our needs are. And as we are able to verbalize, to say what our needs are, I can give you the right thing, is כי מי גוי גדול אשר לו אלוהים, קרובים אליו כי אדוני אלוהינו בכל קוראנו אליו. We get close to God as we try to speak to Him, as we try to communicate with Him. But that proximity doesn't happen when God answers to your request. That proximity happens when you have the ability to find out and to figure out what are the things that you need, what are the places in which you want to invest your energies in your life, and when you work with those things. So the function of prayer, the interesting thing that happens with Moses there is that Moses says, and God told me not to talk about this anymore. Right? Like the verse goes, and that was it. So I was able to say once again that I am angry and I want to make it to a promised land. And then God told me, no, you're not going to make it. You will be able to see it from the mountain. And that this is a done deal. So what happened there? What was what prayer allowed Moses to do? Argue with God. So that's an argument with God. Wonderful. So this argument with God helped Moses not to get what he wanted, but to get what? Closure. He was able to heal. He was able to say that he was angry or he was disappointed or that he wanted something that he understood that he wasn't going to get. Then he was able to realize what his possibilities were, the real possibilities, not magic possibilities, the real possibilities. I had to say it's okay. And then he moved on. And that's the strength of prayer. The strength of prayer is actually in those places in which we are trying to work with ourselves. Not in the fact that God is going to answer to my grocery list and send me the potatoes that I asked Him for. But actually, I don't really mean potatoes, okay? Don't take me literally. But I actually think that prayer has the ability to help us achieve closure for important things. And as we start this Shabbat of Parashat Beth Hanan, this Shabbat of Parashat Nachamu, the Shabbat Nachamu, this is the Shabbat that comes after Tisha B'Av, this Shabbat in which we say, we got to move on from our brokenness. We can't be in our brokenness forever. We try to think about what are the words, what are the prayers that we need to say in order to get closer, in order to get closer to God, in order to get closer to the purity of the needs of our souls. And we try to move on in the process of teshuvah, of self-rectification that will bring us and will guide us toward the High Holies and to a deeper work in the High Holies. Shabbat Shalom. Let's get started with the reading of Parashat Nachamu, Beth Hanan.
Oh no.
That's okay. That's just the covering. That can fall.
Benjamin Ganesha Ben Shemarahu Burton Silver Bishon.
Yes.
The Torah reading starts on page 1333 in some of the books, and then it switches quickly past some English to it. I mean, it's a very long parsha, so it's spread out over a lot of pages. But 1333, I believe, in the blue book. Miriam Van Walt reading. Sorry.
Baruch Adonai Hamorach.
Baruch Adonai Baruch
אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר בחר בנו מכל העמים ונתן לנו את תורתו ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
V'chanan el Adonai ba'et hahu lemor Adonai, Adonai ata chilota leot et ha'abtecha et godlecha ve'et yadcha hachazaka asher mi'el ha'bashamayim uva'aretz asher yasech ma'asecha v'chikvorotecha erana ve'r'eh et ha'aretz ha'tova asher be'ever ha'yarden ha'atov hazeh ve'halvanon.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Yamdu, Malka Bat Jorge, Ludmila Cyrilin, and Nitza Bat Avi Betova, Nitzachenik. And reading Daphne Putterman.
Okay, let's read Daphne. Baruch et Adonai HaMavarach.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMavarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim ונתן לנו את תורתו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen.
אמן. ויתבר אדוני בי למענכם ולא שמע אלי ויאמר אדוני אלי רב לך אל תוסף דבר אלי עוד בדבר הזה עלה ראש הפסגה ושא עיניך ימה וצפונה ותימנה ומזרחה וראה בעיניך כי לא תעבור את הירדן הזה ויצב את יהושע וחזקהו ואמצהו כי הוא יעבור לפני העם הזה והוא ינחיל אותם את הארץ אשר תראה.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen.
Yamdu, Sosha Bat Ben Sion, Begolda, Sophia Zuckerman, and Miriam Shoshana, Bat Farfel Esther, Miriam Van Wolf, Shlishi.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim ונתן לנו את תורתו. ברוך אתה Adonai נותן התורה.
Amen.
אמן. ונשב בגיא מול בית פאור ואתה ישראל שמע אל החוקים ואל המשפטים אשר אנוכי מלמד אתכם לעשות למען תשחוו ובאתם ורישתם את הארץ אשר אדוני אלוהיכם נותן לכם, לא תוסיפו על הדבר אשר אנוכי מצווה אתכם, ולא תגרעו ממנו לשמור את מצוות אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר אנוכי מצווה אתכם. עיניכם הרואות את אשר עשה אדוני בבעל פאור, כי כל האיש אשר הלך אחרי בעל פאור השמדו אדוני אלוהיך מקרבך.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah temet, v'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
יעמדו תיקסיו גבריאל בן ברוך הלוי, צפריאל לאה נחומה סיבלסקו, Mordechai ben Yehuda, Bechaya Kayla, Mark Filowitz chanting after Sarah Douglas. I can't stand doing that. She's so good.
I need to master this art. It's very difficult. Okay. I found it. Yep. Right here. Got it.
Sorry, on your foot.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Barach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. V'yadata ki Adonai Elohecha hu Elohim el haneman shomer habrit hachesed lechanav ulvishmorei mitzotav lelefdor umshalem l'shaman el panav lechadav l'havido lo v'yecherei lishnor v'el panav yishlem lo v'shamta et chamitzvah v'yet hachukim v'yachamish batim asher anochi matzocha hayom le'asotam.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
We just cover the Torah. I'll call you soon for Agban Vida. We are going to do Haftarah before that. Thank you very much. Shar koach. Shar koach. To all those came up to the Torah. We say, for all those that came up to the Torah, please rise if you were involved in Mishaberach Avotenu Be'imotenu, Abraham, Yitzchak, Be'Yakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah. May the one who bless our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, will bless all those that came up to the Torah in honor of the Torah, Shabbat, and our community. May you be blessed in all your endeavors, and may you be healthy and strong together with all Israel. And let us say,
Amen.
we take a moment also to acknowledge and recognize dear people. You may be seated. People that are dealing with illness in our community. משברך אבותינו ואימותינו, אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, שרה, רבקה, רחל ולאה, הוא יברך את החולים. May the one who bless our ancestors will bless all those that are ill. And if you have a name that you'd like to share, please do so. Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit, and let us say, Amen. Now, you may be seated. Before we do Akba Angli Lila, this is a special Torah portion. It's a special Shabbat. This is, as we say, Shabbat Nachamu. You can find the reading of the Haftarah on page 1590. Look at you. You're really good, Gabbai. Can I invite you, Gabbai, to say the blessings for the reading of the Haftarah? Yeah, before we read the Haftarah. We have one before and one after.
Gabby reading.
Gabby's reading the Haftarah. He's reading in English.
What page?
1595.
95.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam asher bochar b'nvi'im tovim v'ratzah b'divreihem hane'emarim be'emet
Baruch atah Adonai
הבוחר בתורה משה עבדו ובישראל עמו ובנביאי האמת והצדק.
Amen. So we are going to read Haftarat Nachamu, and I will just read the first words. In Hebrew, and then Gabi will go in English. We are going to read between the first and the ninth verses. And I want to invite you, so we are talking about Nachamu, we are talking about comfort, consolation, in the context of Tisha B'Av. In the context of sitting on top of your broken home, your broken idea, whatever brokenness that you are holding, and thinking about how to make it back. And maybe realizing that the way back might look different, right? In the historical context, for many Jews, Tisha B'Av, for example, is not a relevant commemoration anymore because of the creation of the state of Israel. So for those Jews, they were able to see as a new home, a different home, a home that doesn't look like a third temple. And I think that the ability to comfort ourselves, to get consolation, also has to do with the ability to adjust to new ideas, to different ideas. So as we read the words of our tradition, I also want to invite you to think about what could bring some consolation and some adjustment to your brokenness. We all hold some level of brokenness. Nachamu, Nachamu, Ami, says your God.
Comfort, O comfort my people, says your God. Speak tenderly to Jerusalem and declare to her that her term of service is over, that her iniquity is expiated, for she has received at the hand of the Lord double for all her sins. A voice rings out, clear in the desert a road for the Lord, level in the wilderness a highway for our God. Let every valley be raised, every hill and mount made low. Let the rugged ground become level and the ridges become a plain. The presence of the Lord shall appear, and all flesh as one shall behold, for the Lord himself has spoken. A voice rings out, proclaim. Another asks, what shall I proclaim? All flesh is grass, all its goodness like flowers of the field. Grass withers, flowers fade when the breath of the Lord blows on them. Indeed, man is but grass. Grass withers, flowers fade, but the word of our God is always fulfilled. Ascend a lofty mountain, O herald of joy to Zion. Raise your voice with power, O herald of joy to Jerusalem. Raise it, have no fear. Announce to the cities of Judah, behold your God.
Blessing for the Haftarah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam, tzur kol ha'amim, tzadik b'chol hadorot, oel ha'ne'eman omer v'yosef, hamdaber u'mkayem, shechol devarav, emet v'tzedek, al ha'torah, al ha'avodah, al ha'milim, v'al yom ha'shabbat
הזה, שנתת לנו, אדוני אלוהינו, לקדושה ולמנוחה, לכבוד ולתפארת. על הכל, אדוני אלוהינו, אנחנו מודים לך, ומברכים אותך, יתברך שמך בפי כל חי, תמיד לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני.
ברוך הוא שמו.
מקדש השבת.
Please rise for Agba Anglilila. Thank you, Mark. בסוד התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה. תורה, 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 ציווה לנו משה. תורה, 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 ציווה לנו משה. תורה, 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 ציווה לנו משה. תורה, 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 ציווה לנו משה. תורה, 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 ציווה לנו משה. תורה, 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 ציווה לנו משה. עץ חיימי למחסה הקים בה בתום מאושר דרכיה דרכי נועם בכל נתיבותיה שלום אשיבנו אדוני אליך ונשובה חדש ימינו כקדם. page 586 עלינו לשבח.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הרצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים
לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. You may be seated. Thank you very much, David. We turn our Sidurim now to page 598 as we take a moment to acknowledge mourners among our community. If you're doing the first 7 days of mourning, please rise. If you're doing the first 30 days of mourning, Shloshim, please rise. If you are during the cycle of the first year of mourning, please rise and share with us who you are remembering, please. If you have a yahrzeit this week, please rise. Now you can support our fellows while sitting or standing, joining us with your voices and your hearts for Mourners Kaddish. יתגדל ויתקדש שם רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותה, בימליך מלכותה, בחייכון וביומכון, ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, באמרו אמן. יהא שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולמי עלמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירם בעלמה, באמרו אמן. יהא שלמה רבה מן שמיה, בחיים טובים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, באמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, באמרו אמן. May the memories of your dear ones be a living blessing in your life. יהי זכרם ברוך. You may be seated. I want to share, yesterday we had in our service the names of all the homeless that died in Orange County during the month of July. Some of you noticed that. And one of the reasons we are doing that is because the Yiddish oi of the society, they have people dying in their streets and don't acknowledge that. We can't just continue with our lives while people are dying in the streets. We as Jews, one of the rules that we learn, there are two interesting rules in the context of synagogues, and as we were learning about the Great Temple over these last couple of weeks, there are two Mishnayot interesting in this context. One says that in the Beit HaMikdash, the windows were done in a way in which the light that would come from inside would go out and would illuminate. That's the meaning of being a light unto the nations. But the other one says that you can't pray in a space that has no windows. And the reason is because you can't disconnect yourself from the reality when you pray. So sometimes when we pray from here, from uphill, we don't see the homeless in downtown Fullerton, or we don't see the homeless in Valencia or in different areas of Fullerton, but they're here in our city. So we need to make sure that we take care of them. I can tell you that our social justice committee is working very hard to bring a voice and to be involved in what's happening in terms of homelessness in our city. If you want to hear about that, you can ask me. I like to share. I'm very involved. So it's our community, and very soon we will be creating more opportunities for people to be active in different ways and to try to help the greater community here in Fullerton. One more thing, there's a building day. There are a couple of organizations working in the area. One of them is Habitat for Humanity. They are building sustainable housing. And there's a day for communities of faith to build in September 11. And I can tell you that me and some other activity staff members will be there working in construction for the entire day. No, they wanted a rabbi. I say, guys, listen, I don't know how to hit it. I don't know how to hit a nail, but I'll be there. So I will be, I don't know what doing, but if you want to join me and be working a little bit in construction, I strongly encourage you to do that. It's an important mitzvah, and there are other opportunities for mitzvot that we are working on. With all that said, I was trying to kind of forget that part. Yes, I have been doing all kind of things over the last couple of years, and you have been accompanying me, so let's build together this time. We are going to conclude our service on page 625 with Adon Olam. Tradition is good. Sometimes the words of the tradition are very comforting. I want to do it slow, a little bit slow.
Okay.
אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא וחפצו כל עשי מלך שמו נקרא עשי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארה והוא יהיה בתפארה והוא אחד בשני להמשילו להכבירה ולי ראשית ולי תכלית ולא העוז והמשרה ולא העוז והמשרה ונוח לי וחי גואלי בצור חבלי וצרה והוא ניסי ומנוסי מנת כוסי ביום אקרא מנת כוסי ביום אקרא בידו אפקיד רוחי בעת תשען והעירה ועם רוחי גביעתי אדוני לי ולא יירא אדוני לי ולא יירא. Because if you are with me, I shall not fear. Adonai os לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. שבת שלום, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.